What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, the Troll Master. 22 years selling full-time on eBay. What's going on, everybody? Sold a Macari item. Already packaged up. I Love Nerds t-shirt sold. All right. Today is Tuesday. Boink, boink, boink. So how did yesterday turn out? Yesterday there was all kinds of, the site still is glitchy as hell, but the search seemed a lot more messed up. There was times where I was getting 0 results. I have to refresh a couple of times in order to get results. There was a difference between search results on desktop and the app again. What else was there? Oh, the spinning wheel of death, consistently trying to do stuff, list, draft, just trying to move around. So glitchy as hell, but I made it up to $585, so that's good. At least got past my low end. We're at 10 a.m. I'm at 101. So yesterday, 35 items sold, 8 organic, promoted 27. So the biggest spread since I've been doing my experiment. And is that because I jumped my hats and clothing up to 15 to try to find their best percentage price, or percentage advertising price, or percentage, I should say. Not sure. We'll see how today plays out. Today is more even right now. 5 sold, 2 organic, 3 promoted. Da, 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 da. One day is really not. I was going to do a custom yesterday just to see if clothing jumped up into my top 5 for one day, just to see. I guess looking for one day won't hurt. Hats, of course. Major League Baseball. But that's the only 2 clothing issue or items. Then we got DVDs, CDs, and Christmas ornaments for yesterday's top 5. So of course we have to give that time. March 4th compared to March 3rd, up 1,000%. Oh, because I think my fees and stuff came out yesterday, I believe. That's probably why. All right. Questions and comments. So as you know, we played a little game yesterday to see if I shall become the Troll Master. And it seemed to work. I got more comments on the video than I have on any video within the last 2 months. At least it'll be there by the end of the day anyway, with videos that are almost 2 months old. So positive there. And we're already at 1.2, which is number 2 on my rankings in the last 10 days, or 10 videos, however they do that. Maybe it's 10 videos. So that's good. Not just that, it seems to have brought traffic to my other video, or my other videos also. And my subscriber count jumped up pretty good. So the experiment worked pretty well. So thank you guys to whoever played along. And you guys kind of saw the results. And some of you even commented on the results that it was getting. So, and more or less how people, they react more to the title and the thumbnail as opposed to actually watching the content. And what's cool is a lot of the trolls have a lot more accounts than just the one. So they get on their other accounts and like their own comments, which drives it up even more. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, if I can just get those multiple accounts to comment also. But either way, it's kind of cool to get hone in on the power and control the power, if you will. Not even power, control the children. Kind of like when you have children and they get a certain age and you teach them to mow the lawn to learn what hard work is, right? It means you don't have to mow the lawn anymore. Use them to your advantage, if you will. So, yeah, it's a good thing. It was kind of cool. So, K1s were flying yesterday. Pew, pew, pew. It's a beautiful thing. So, quite fun. I was kind of over it. Like, with me, I'm like over things really quick. Like, that's why I don't usually even remember what I talked about in a previous video. So like midday, I was kind of over it. And I'm like, no, it's an experiment. Keep going. Keep looking at it. Because at midday, I'm like, I got better things to do, right? So keep listing and stuff. I think I got about 200 items listed yesterday. So, but yeah, let's see what questions and comments we got. All right. People talk about eBay as if it's ruining your business, but to be totally transparent, you would have no business if it wasn't for eBay in most people's cases. True. Yes, they have control and they look at the algorithm to try and make the money, but you're using the platform to make your money. It's good coexistence. Yeah, what people are upset about is it used to be better coexistence. Now the coexistence favors eBay a hell of a lot more than it favors some, at least the return, right? Not the overall, but the return. And that's why a lot of people are moving on, because there's a lot more competition nowadays than there was in the past. So if they would have done this 15 years ago, it wouldn't have had as big of an impact as it is today on the eBay business side, I believe. Because you wouldn't have had people jump and ship. And if you're the only game in town, you have to play by their rules, type of thing. So, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from 100%. With some of your items missing, have you ever or recently done an inventory count? Your inventory is high and gives me anxiety thinking about doing a count. What I do is when I draft and I complete the drafts, I usually have a stack or tote in my office of stuff that needs to be finally listed and put into a home. So I'll come down, I'll grab a box. Right now I'm grabbing totes so I can transfer them over to the boxes because they got more room in them. And then I check the box with what's listed. If you use your listing SKU as your location, you can type in contains, SKU contains, not equals to, put in contains, and then put in the code of your box. It'll bring everything up in that box or tote, and then you can kind of go through it and do a spot check. The only problem is eBay is having issues right now where not everything's coming up in the seller hub. So the items you do pull out and go, oh, these are not listed anymore, before you throw them aside, go into your store, and you're going to have to type each one individually to make sure it's really not there, because for some reason, not all the inventory is coming up under the seller hub that's actually in your store. It's a huge freaking mess. So taking a lot more time to go through it and stuff, but what are you going to do? It's been 2 months since this problem started and it's still an open issue, and apparently they can't get it fixed. So I get these eye boogers out of my eyes. So, but yeah, that's what I do, box by box. Oh, I don't always see eye to eye with Sir James on methods and approach, but the point of this video went over a lot of heads, right? And it was clearly, that was funny. but it worked. My lame joke. Damn it, eBay, why hasn't my whole store sold today? You look like Johnny from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, that was my little goofy picture I put up about being the smallest Grim Reaper joke. That's funny. As far as daily refinement goes, he had no choice but to pivot out of eBay. Well, actually, he did have a choice. Don't do stuff illegally, technically. And it seems to have worked out for him. Seems to, I would guess. I don't know. I don't pay too close attention. He's in that big warehouse now and is moving into an even bigger warehouse next month, I think. He did say that eBay told him that if he wanted to come back on, his wife could start an account. But she said no thanks. Actually, I don't think you can. If they're in the same household, have the same address, if the same address is used, or any correlation, the Amazon's the same way. If there is any correlation between somebody in your household, I've seen people kicked off eBay who came to a family member's house, used their Wi-Fi and the API or whatever it's called. The person in the house got suspended, and so did the people who used their Wi-Fi at one time. I've seen that happen. That's how detailed eBay and Amazon are when it comes to suspending people's account. Like, my boys have got an account, and I told them they better take care of it, because if they get suspended, I get suspended. So I taught them to be very cautious, do the right things, etc., because there is a connection there that once one person in your household is gone, everybody's gone. So it's done by the API addresses. It's done by physical addresses, done by bank accounts, bank numbers, names on bank accounts. I mean, it's detailed. So I doubt that really happened. I seriously do. He may have just said that to try to, he didn't tell the full truth of what really happened. So you could see it. He softened the blow of what really happened. So that could be like part of the pillow softness, if you will. So, yeah. So he did have a choice. Don't do nothing illegal. Oh my God, I love your hat. One of my mom's favorite shows back in the day. Oh, thanks. Thanks for making me feel old. Headbangers Ball is your mom's favorite show back in the day. That's cool, though. Commonwealth Picker, number 1. Pro Picker, number 2. I've never heard of you yet, so you're going to have to work your way up. Your video popped up in the algorithm from watching those Cooking in the Woods videos. Well, I don't know the Cooking in the Woods videos. I don't know Pro Picker either. I know Commonwealth, of course, Kevin. Not sure. Oh, and even one of the trolls are getting in on the conversations there too. See, that's the beauty. Look, not just me. And they responded, "Are you listing the 2 biggest lowballers, clickbait, uppity resellers on YouTube? If so, you got it right." Hey, they're doing something right if they're getting the views. eBay is about getting the views. That's all it's about. It's not, when it comes down to it, the bottom line is the more views you get, the more people you get, the more money you make. Comments go into that. Thumbs up, thumbs down go into that. It don't matter what the comment is, as long as it's a comment. Content. The reason, like, if I wanted to put the time into it that those other people put into it, I guarantee I could do a lot better, but I don't have that kind of time in my day because I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy just listing all day and stuff. But if I had time to sit down for an hour, 2 hours and edit videos and only made each video specific to one thing instead of, if you watch my videos, you know I'm all over the place, all over a million different topics in one video. If I took all those million different topics and made separate directed videos for each one, they would do a lot better. And I knew going into this style that, and I've said it way back in the past, that it's not going to garner a lot of the attention or the long stay of certain people. It's just because it's kind of boring to most. So I've got the ones who like listening in the background. Hello to you guys. The supportive, really supportive people. And then, okay, what's the next people I can go after that I can use to grow my channel? Well, the easiest ones will be the trolls. Those are the easiest ones to target, the easiest ones to manipulate, the easiest ones to use to your advantage, if you will. I only say use to your advantage just because it's a negative using it to your advantage. You don't use the positives to your advantage. They just are the advantage. But so now that I got that down and know how to use that to my benefit, it's like what, and I've talked about this before, like what is the next step of peoples I go after, right? Like I said, the human mind is such an it's one of the most easiest things to manipulate and such. The hard part is getting to them through the algorithm. So trying to figure out how to get through to a certain type of person via the algorithm, it's almost like a double wall you have to like penetrate. So any of those people like Commonwealth or whatever that's created content that was able to break those walls, and then somebody like Homeschooler Picker, whatever her name is, to even break out through that next wall and go freaking basically, what would you call it? When somebody goes into pop star status, if you will, but, you know, obviously lower on the eBay platform. But that next level where you get 100,000 views per video and stuff, and then you have the next level of someone like Heavy D and them, the way they go through with their trucks and rescues and stuff like that. To get up each of those levels, you have to find that group of people to relate to, right? This video is never going to relate to probably Commonwealth numbers, definitely not Homeschool Picker numbers, and definitely not Heavy D numbers, unless I did something different. So then I throw in my yard sale stuff during the summer, hoping that brings in a little bit different feel of people and stuff. But I don't do that consistently enough to really do, you know, so I'm happy with it is where it is. So, you know, it is what it is type of thing. So, and so it gets boring doing the same thing over and over again to an extent. That's why I talk about anything and everything I want to. Because if I just had to show you exactly what sold everything, that would get boring and I'd be like, I don't feel like making a video. So to make it interesting, I play with the titles and I play with the thumbnails, as you guys know. So just to see what type of reactions that will get. So, but like I said, I'm usually over it. That's why I switch thumbnails sometimes and titles several times a day, because it'll be one thing targeted one way and I'm like, you know, I don't feel like messing with it. I'll take the thumbnail down, just use a screenshot or change the title to something generic and just move on with my day. And yesterday I started to do that. And I'm like, no, you're going through with the experiment. You can use this to your benefit in the future and anytime you need to. So you're going through. So I made myself go through the whole experiment. So now I'll have, like today, I don't really care. So I probably won't have anything special unless something just pops in my head at the last minute as I'm creating a title or whatever. But like now I don't know what the next step is to, like, I can't find that next step. I've tried different things to try to find that next target of people without doing too much more, obviously. That's why I'm trying to create that little live show thing and bring in some different type of stuff that maybe that would bring in a different type of person too. So that's why I've been throwing around that idea and writing notes and stuff like that on that. So, but it's got to be something I enjoy or I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to follow through with it. It's just, I get bored of stuff super easy. So an hour later, I'm over everything. So I listed the godfathers of the game. When searching up comps yesterday afternoon, that would yield 20 to 30 results for items that would typically see at least in the 100 range. Yeah, the search was definitely all jacked up yesterday, and there was people complaining about it on message boards also. So, how excited that you are getting a new pup. Yes, Pee-wee. The date has been set for Saturday. Pee-wee will be here. So, nothing's done yet. Bring him in, see how he acts around Courtney. Make sure he's not a barnstormer, if you will, where he just runs through everybody in the house consistently and making a total nuisance of him, of the situation. So we'll get to meet him Saturday. So that's good. That's awesome. So excited. I ordered an NAS game from you. It arrived perfect. I told my wife I had to order something from you. Thanks, James, for all you do. Well, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. What customer service number do you use to actually speak to a person? Please share. I don't know if I'm supposed to share. That's why I don't. Because I think it's because I have an Anchor store. So I don't know if that number is, I don't think it's affiliated to me personally, but that's why I don't really share the number. Amazing, all hail King James. Thanks for playing along. The best part is a triggered title and a comment that shows all they did was read the title without watching the video. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. That's the whole, you don't have to make the content to go with the actual video and the title. It's kind of like a step beyond clickbait. Like clickbait, you're like blowing up what you're talking about to make it seem mysterious or bigger than it is. But creating a title and a thumbnail that has nothing to do with, well, I guess it did because I technically came up with the idea in the video. So I guess that kind of blew it up, I guess that falls under that same premise. But I can make a totally different thumbnail that has nothing to do with the video and see what that garners too. Like maybe today I'll do something out of left field. Let me try to think of something again. What's something that's online that gets a lot of peeps? Crap. Doggy. Oh, that's a $40 sale. What is that? Lego set. Oh, a new offer too. I'm getting a new doggy. Maybe getting a new doggy so I could go into the dog realm. But I've done that in the past with Vern and Courtney, and it really didn't garner anything extra. So I think once your channel's kind of set towards something, you're kind of just stuck in that void, if you will. And finding that one little thing that takes you to that next level or outside of that void, like maybe the void's more horizontal. Like, I'm here, like people like Commonwealth and Shed Flips and stuff's here. Then like the homeschool pickers here. Getting out of that void and getting at least, even if you're on like a normal graph, even getting something to peek up into that next void is difficult. Like my how to list 200 items in a day, that one creeped up a couple of voids. So trying to get that next bump into another void, that's kind of a hard part. Like what I did yesterday kept me in the same void. It just maybe bumped it up a tad bit type of thing. So trying to get that next void is, so that's how I kind of picture it all when I'm playing with stuff. Just trying to take the boredom out of it. Because like literally most every day, I tell myself that I'm not going to turn on the camera. I literally tell myself to turn on the camera every day. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't. And it's nothing against you guys, obviously. It's just, I don't know. I just like my peaceful time of just getting stuff done and doing and just being in my own head. Because at this point, I'm like, what else do I really have to teach? You know, it's just the same stuff being spewed out a different way. You know, I've talked about that in the past too, where to have a longevity channel, you're basically doing the same thing, just spewed a different way. And that's kind of, I guess, kind of like the homeschool stuff, how that works really well. Because it's all yard sale type stuff, and every yard sale is going to be different. It's the same thing, but you're always going to see something different. Where this is the same thing, you're always going to see something different, but it ain't going to be as exciting as going into somebody's garage. A different person's garage every video or something, you know. Seeing what somebody may have missed, or what you see that they missed, or, you know, what you would have bought if you were there, and type of thing. So it gives it that intrigue, where there's nothing about this video, my videos, that give anything intrigue. So how do I create that intrigue within these morning videos? Maybe there's something to that. I talk and brainstorm at the same time. So as I'm talking, it's all going into my head subconsciously. So if an idea pops in, I can be like, ooh, try this, or try that, or whatever. So what I'm talking, it may seem aimlessly talking, but it's me brainstorming out loud, kind of, sort of. All right, let's get to shipping, see what's sold, and get to shipping. So remember I've said before how the shutdowns overnight always seem to be like at the top of the hour to the top of the hour, or the bottom of the hour to the bottom of the hour, and how it always seems to be almost perfectly done. Yesterday was no different. 1:40 to 8:40. So 7 perfect hours where nothing came through. So it wasn't the top and it wasn't the middle, it's the 40 mark, but still, it's that. Those are the things that when they happen, they're like, and happen consistently almost every single time. It's like, there's something to that, right? There's got to be something to that. That's not a coincidence when something like that happens over and over and over, almost literally 7 days a week. There's something behind that. With all these cha-chings, I was at 101 at 10. It is now 10:30. I'm at 191. So there we go. All right, let's get some stuff shipped. Sold a Lego thing that hasn't been pulled yet. Some Boy Scout patches. 2 lots of Boy Scout patches that just this one Boy Scout patch, I sold them in this one in lots of 10. So they bought 20 of them. I still have 45 lots left of just this one design. I love finding that kind of stuff at the bins because I know that's going to be long tail stuff over many years. And I found like 2 big plastic totes full of Boy Scout patches. So those 2 lots went for $24 plus shipping. Okay, Trump 2016 hat sold, not pulled yet. Okay, and I think I got everything else. So we got some Jan finds here. We've got a couple of Jan retail arbitrage pickups too. Purchase shipping label. Jan coming in hot today. All right, we got the UK. Got Canada. Another UK. Remove. Combine orders. And let's go. Daryl Hall and John Oates, Don't Hold Back Your Love cassette single. Sold for $6, headed to Ossip, Illinois. Ossip. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I'm almost kind of worried about the puppy. Mainly because of his age. You know, I was originally looking for someone older, closer to her age. So, kind of like, I don't know. So, we'll see. It'll work. What works out will work out. Stephanie Mills' Greatest Hits CD. Hopefully he won't be too rough with her. That's what I'm worried about. Sold for $650, headed to Fort Valley, Georgia. But she would try to play with Vern, and then when Vern got a little too rough, she'd run under the deck. So she always has a way out. At least with Vern, but Vern understood it. Like he didn't try to go back after her when she came out. Gregory. So if he's a little rambunctious, that's what I worry about. Next up, a Jan Retail arbitrage item from CVS. Snoopy Christmas pillow. I don't remember. I didn't take an average of the stuff she bought, but it was like, I don't know, it was either 75 or 90 off. I don't remember. Sold for $27, headed to Portland, Oregon. Snoopy pillow. It was the Christmas stuff when they clearanced it out. The store manager's like, take it all, take it all. 12, 15, 19 by 5. Leslie. Take it all. Take it all off. We got a nice distress stained Remington hat. Sold for $12, headed to New York. New York. New York. Yesterday I got a lot of oddball stuff listed. Christmas stuff. Odds and ends. And I have a bunch ready to go up today already. Corey. And then the next list of stuff I think is odds and ends. And then also, let's see. Yeah, golf club, some more Christmas items. Then clothes. Get into some clothes. Hats, more Christmas. More odds and ends, toys, more clothes, more hats. So that's today's. Unless Jan goes to, she went to get her hair done. She's off today, so I think she's going to go to the pens after she's done. Like, if you want to, go. UMB, Callaway hat. Headed to Memphis, Tennessee, sold for $9.50. So if she gets anything good, I'll bump that into the rotation for today. We got St. Louis Cardinals, New Era, brown and yellow. I like finding the different colors. Sold for $9.50, headed out to O'Fallon, Missouri. I like finding colors that are not the norm. Eight by 6x4. Well, all right. Glock Perfection. Nice distressed hat. Sold for $11, headed to Glendale, California. Go boing, go boing, go boing. Johnny. Who is Johnny? Johnny 5. Next up, the Breeders' Cup with the broken snapback. Sold for $14.40, headed to Morro Bay, California. There's a broken snapback. If it's a good subject matter, don't let a broken snapback turn you off too much. Delta, Mississippi, Queens t-shirt. Because something like this, somebody might just want to display it. And if they want to wear it again, those can be replaced. So. Jack. Next up, vintage music. Classics from the 20s and 30s CD. So for $13.50, headed to Vermont. Pinnacle Parcels. I'm gonna see what this company is that they work for. Or unless, they just receive packages. Okay. Almost like a UPS store, I guess. Gotcha. Called Pinnacle Parcels. Four. Next up, we got a lot of just blank cassette tapes that people used to record stuff on in the past. If you do sell these, if it does have an artist record on it, like Rod Stewart there, do not put Rod Stewart in the title. Just put blank used cassette tapes. This lot of 15 of them sold for $12.14, headed to Tennessee. I think the only one you can get away with that, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure, is Grateful Dead. They're the ones that I know they allow their recorded, at least they used to, their recorded music to be passed around and distributed and sold without any issues. And I've got probably about 4 boxes of Grateful Dead recorded tapes in storage that I was always afraid to put up because I've always been, you do not do that. So I always just set them back into storage until I knew 100% I could list them without any problems. And probably 99% sure now I would at least try it now if I had those out available to me. I need some padding. Padding. Don't have it big enough there. Here we go. I actually got some bubble wrap. Beautiful. One, 10, 6 by 8 by 4. Robert. Next up, we've got Sooners baseball cap. Sold for $10.50, headed to Groverport, Ohio. Groverport. Connie. Next up, some Jan items. Either she found them or I did. I don't remember who, but of course it's because of Jan that if I did was the one that grabbed them, that's why. But we got some vintage Christmas ornaments here. This one's from 1971. And this one's from 1972. They're called Biedermann Christmas ornaments. Made in West Germany, cut in West Germany. Sold them for $18 a piece. So biggity bam right there. I believe that $36, and those were at the bins. These things cost nothing. 10 cents maybe? No. She's been getting, yeah, the Christmas stuff's been 5 cents a piece if heavy, or $5 a piece if heavy, or 20 cents a pound on Christmas stuff. I believe that's what it is. So that's why she wanted to go today to look for more Christmas stuff. I'm like, we'll find some other stuff also. So yeah, those would have cost next to nothing. Pennies to $36. I'd take it. 8 by 6 by 4. James. I know that name. And the last US one is a couple of, I thought this was another Jan. Because I remember she got some new sealed DVDs as part of the holiday thing. She got some Halloween stuff and then some Christmas stuff. So I thought this was part of the Halloween one, but I guess not because it's got a Kmart sticker on it. So, and then we got Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? 2 DVDs, $9 and $8. Headed to Redondo Beach, California. Redondo Beach. Will you fit in here? Probably not. I need a bigger one. That's what she said. All right. Doink. 7. So that'll be John. That's all the US stuff. sit. Ubu, sit. Good dog. Woo. Review purchases. Confirm and pay. The spinning wheel of death. The printout didn't print up last night either, so that was another error. The scan form. No printy pretty for you, it said. No printy pretty for you. Oh, we're already over $200, $209. Headed toward 11 a.m. And I got 3 internationals. John Jacob Jingleheider-Schmidt, or something like that. His name was my name too. I got to try to remember that. Every time I start singing like an old song that we sung as kids or something, or knew as kids, as an adult, I try to look them up so I can see the exact words and see what they were made for. Like Ring Around the Rosie was about the Black Plague. You find that the stuff was like kind of twisted meanings to it. I love that. I think that was right, what I just said about the Black Plague. I believe that's the right one. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes to ashes, we all fall down. Something like that. I think it was Black Plague. If I remember correctly. Humans have some twisted history. But none of it should be erased. You should always be able to learn from it. Or the same mistakes will be made again. That's why some people like erasing the history, so they can repeat it. I love that whole thing going around how people are, what they call it, is it the Mandela effect? Where you see, where it feels like things are trying to be erased from history and totally scrubbed from everything so they can actually change it, like the Monaco, I think it was the Monaco or whatever on the Monopoly guy. But I don't remember him ever having it. But that's something you could see. And then what was that movie with Shaq? The Shazam? Or was it not Shaq? It was either Shaq or what's his name? Damn it, comedian. I keep wanting to say Pitbull. It's not Pitbull. It's what is his freaking name? Damn it, what's his name? Now it's bothering me. He's a comedian. Yes, you. What's your name? Sinbad. I knew it was one name. So. All has to do with that human mind. How easy manipulated it can be. Love it. I love that stuff. All right. Let's go with International. I loves it. All right. First up, we got this Lake of the Ozarks jacket's been in my store 6+ years. I think this was an older one. Oh crap. No, I don't want. I thought I had easy access to my orders. But But it sold for $19.64. Headed to the UK. We are going poly bag, hoodie, 1964. Why ain't any of this spelled out? It used to be. My stomach is still talking. Next up, I bought tons of these before at Howard Stern. It's a limited cover that was just on the promo CD. When the 1 cent CD, the original 1 cent CD was at J.M. Marie, used to sell on eBay. Every time they put one of these up for the penny auction, I always bought them. So I've got probably 30 or 40 more in storage. Because at the time, I could sell them for a little bit more, like 20, 25 bucks. Then there was a huge lull, so they came down. They got put in storage. And I put maybe 4 or 5 back up in the last year or so. And I think this is the last one, sold for 20 bucks. The last one that I put up anyway. I came across some. But I know I got more in somewhere in storage. 3.8. 1999. 3.8. Emails galore. And lastly, Hillcrest Golf Club trucker hat. Head to the UK, sold for $11. I'm gonna find my mind today. Like on my peaceful days, I like having my mind at least go have a topic, if you will. A lot of times it's just actually listening to the music that's being played, or having my train video and just thinking about the scenery that's going on with the train video. But the last couple of days, the music has just been getting, like, I'm tired of hearing the same old stuff. But then when I try to listen to new stuff, I don't concentrate that hard on what's around me because I'm listing or drafting. So with new music, it's not consciously caught. So I could listen to a whole album and won't even remember I listened to it. So I think I'm going train video today. Yesterday I didn't have train videos on. Or did I? See, I don't even remember where my mind was yesterday. I think I was just concentrating on making sure I got like 200 items listed. Trying to push myself through all the oddball stuff. because that's not always the most fun stuff for me. But I just got to put myself in a mindset where it's easy, James. All you have to do is type in a few things and you're done. So I have to keep reminding myself that over and over again, type of thing. And my mind's weird. Like if I didn't enjoy what I do and had so many different options on ways to do it when it comes to listing and stuff like that, it'd be harder for me to do, just because I get so freaking just, like I said, over stuff by an hour later, no matter what it is. And I used to be that, even like that toward like people and friends, like hanging out with somebody. I'm like, yeah, I'm headed out, things like that. So now it's like everything else is like, so I always have to find like something, like almost once an hour a day, I've got to find a new way to intrigue myself. And I guess it's a good thing, because I wasn't like that when I had stress, right? Because I had to do something. That's what's stressful about it. You have to do this. You got to get it done. So I guess I got to look at it as that's a beautiful bonus, being the fact that I'm tired of something after an hour, because it's not something that I have to do. That's a good way of looking at it. Thank you, James, for coming up with that. Well, you're welcome, James. So every time I start to get old with something, I can just tell myself, that's a privilege, actually. That's a privilege. And that might give me a boost to just keep doing it. Oh, my mind's weird. I love the human mind. Have you ever noticed that? I'm intrigued with the human mind. Like I may have missed my calling as either like a investigator, because I love the art of interrogation and things like that, and the manipulation of the mind, or a psychiatrist, or something in that the mind related field. Like I'm so intrigued with the mind that I could probably lie to a lie detector test. I would like to have that test done, a lie detector test, to see if I can fool it, because I think I have it figured out on how to fool it, because it's all a mental game, and when it's a mental game, it's a body game, controlling your body. So I think I can fool a lie detector test. So I'd like to have that. I wish I had. Maybe I'll see if I can buy one. And then if I don't, learn how to fool it, because I think I know how to fool it if I can't fool it. Because all you have to do is make yourself believe it. If you make yourself believe something, then your body's going to follow suit. The human mind. It's a beautiful thing. Like I'm always trying to think of how to break into the rest of the mind. Since we only use 10% of our mind. Like I'm always trying to figure out how to hack into the rest of the mind. Might seem weird, but I don't know. It's just intriguing to me, that's all. Intriguing. You would think that somebody who's intrigued by the mind would be more intelligent or smarter than I am. Because I don't consider myself intelligent or smart or anything, so you would think that somebody who's intrigued by it would learn how to make themselves smarter with it, or at least put in more effort to teach it more or something. But being intrigued by it and being good about it's two different things. So there you go. All right. I think that's it. So I think we're still at the same dollar amount. You ready, girl? You ready to go, girl? Almost had to stumble there. You ready to go? $202 still. So stretch 'ems. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.